abdominal viscera in the upper abdominal sequence. There are only 3 moves to the upper abdominal sequence, but of the 3 moves, there's only 2 of them that are done on just the left-hand side. The final move is actually done on both sides. So you've only really got to worry about 4 moves in total. The cisterna chali is located off the midline, slightly to the left. At the bottom of the ribs and the belly button, approximately central and slightly left, we've got our cisterna chali. And you've all seen pictures of that deep. So underneath the abdominal viscera, just in front of the spine. So it runs real deep. Yeah. That is our first port of call. Emptying that is our most important mission with the upper abdominal sequence. The second part of the upper abdominal sequence, again, to find it, the landmark, belly button, ASIS, top of the hip, right in the center, on the left-hand side, you can often feel it, your aortic bifurcation, where the aorta splits and feeds off into the different trunks, the left leg and the right leg. So we've got cisterna chali, we've got aortic bifurcation. The final thing that we're looking at when we're working on the upper abdominal sequence are the deep iliacal nodes. So they're the nodes that sit underneath all this superficial lymphatics that's draining towards the groin. And the thing about the deep nodes is there are no watersheds. So the only thing that watersheds dictate is the superficial work. The deep abdominal viscera has no watersheds. And what we want to do is we line all our fingers up and we push release into the abdominal viscera because we want to access those deep abdominal nodes. So let's run this sequence and show you guys how it works. Also, when you're taking the toweling back, that'll be the top of the nappy towel. Normally that'll be down a little bit lower. Take the towel back, fold and tuck. All right, ASIS, cisterna chali, aortic bifurcation. What we're going to be using is our hypothena eminence. We're going to be keeping our shoulders down. We're going to be watching our client belly breathing because we know that by the time we get to here, most clients are asleep. Can you belly breathe slowly for me? So into your belly, breathe in. Not bad, breathe out. Everybody's not watching you, just pretend like nobody sees this. All right, blade of the hand. Is this the lunate? Scaphoid or lunate? Yeah. Yeah. Pisiform? Some lovers try positions that they can't handle. Okay, pisiform. Here, this little bone is going to rest right on the midline. How do you find your bony landmark? Bang. There's the ribs, there's the belly button. Place the hand down like a blade. Client breathes into their belly. There's no pressure here, just breathe in. Breathe out slowly, slowly, slowly. 1, 2, 3. Supinate. So I'm sinking, sinking, sinking to the end of David's breath. And at the end of the breath, I twist and supinate through to push. Uncomfortable or okay? Okay. Cool. All right, we're going to do that 4 times. When you're ready, breathe in for me. Nice and slow. Coming up, breathe out slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out slowly when you're ready. 1, 2, 3, 4. One pass. Breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's a follow through. So when you're supinating, you sink, 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 and you slight supinate, this leg is bending in the direction where I want that fluid to go. Okay? There's another way to do this, and I'm just going to show it to you because I used to teach it like this and I've changed it up, but I want you to see another way to do it as well. Wrap both hands around the client. When you're ready, breathe in for me, mate. Bring both hands around and breathe out slowly. It's steady. So it's not, it doesn't feel like you're being winded. It just feels like it's steady, steady, steady.
So you're sinking with
Hey? Yeah. Get ready, mate. You'll be so
I was going to
clear.
use the knee. What are you talking about?
So, which one did you prefer? Did you prefer the sink and supinate or that?
No, the first.
Yeah. Most people prefer sink and supinate, but some clients actually, and some students prefer that. Okay, that's kind of more a masterclass
Is it
technique.
the same thing?
It's the same thing. This is a little bit more localized. This is a little bit more, I'm going to push out that last 15% of air in the tidal volume. This is more like I'm going to access the cysternal and just manipulate it to empty it.
I think you can work with the breath better with the first one.
Yeah.
With the second one, you're virtually pushing at the diaphragm as well.
Yeah, you are. And it depends on where people's diaphragms sit. So sometimes you'll say to a student, instead of here, move down a bit, and instead of that, go like that. But it's this is more specified and focused. Okay. So we've got 4 times push release with the heel of the hand, sink, supinate, and follow through because you're moving your body. Second move, you just do 4 of those. Belly button, top of the hip, right in the middle. Usually you can feel a pulse. The aortic bifurcation's right there. Everyone knows, you guys know about this, right? So, again, exactly the same. Coming off the midline this time because it's more left. So I'd put my little bone probably about 1/4 of the way across. Breathe in for me when you're ready. Beautiful. Breathe out slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in. Breathe out slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. The reason I'm counting is because as I count 1, 2, 3, 4, I get deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. And at 4, I just turn my hand. So I go like that. Supinate this part of the thumb.
I always find with breathing too, people need a cue.
Yeah.
The counting is a good cue
Yeah.
for them to know how much to breathe out.
Absolutely.
So
When they're asleep though, it's awesome because they're breathing beautifully and slowly, so you just automatically follow in their breathing when they sleep. And one more. So all I'm really doing here is pumping the aortic bifurcation because there are so many little deep abdominal nodes in that area.
So most of the clients will be asleep.
Yeah. Yeah, 90%, 95% asleep by the time I get to this. And
Do they wake up?
yeah, that's the next. I knew that's the next question because everyone asks. Someone in the class says, no, they don't. Provided that you're confident and comfortable, and you're easy about it, yeah, and consistent. Usually they stay asleep. Was that one comfortable for you? Yeah, good. All right, we're on to our last move. So we've only got 4 here, 4 here. Now, I always grab a little bit of towel. And I place it, you know that natural V that everybody's got above the ASIS, and there's your abdomen. You've got that natural kind of line that when people are lying down, you can feel it. That's exactly where the deep umbilical nodes are located. So what we do, I call this one birds on a wire, because you know how always birds line up on electricity wires and they talk? Okay. So I take the towel, place it over that area of the belly I'm going to be working on. I line all my fingers up. Now, this one's sink and supinate with the fingertips. When you're ready, you can work with the client's breath, but you don't have to. 1, 2. We know that pressure activates the action of the nodes. Because it can be a bit pokey. I've got a bit of nails as well.
That's
Yeah, I do. Haven't done anything for a little while with these hands. So, demoed, but haven't done much in the way of MLT. So, I usually put a towel also because even if you don't have nails, sometimes because of the depth, this can wake people up a bit. So I don't know, I like, the towel provides a bit more softness than without, but you can have a go without if you're confident too. So all I'm doing is sinking and then sort of tipping my fingers to come out. Is that comfortable for you, David? For 10. Because pressure activates the nodes and we want to activate those nodes. And then once I'm done, I swap sides. Grab a little bit of towel on the way up. Top of the hip, natural V. Again, line the fingers up, sink and supinate. So what we're trying to do is get deep into the viscera.
So you're nearly going 2 knuckles.
Sorry?
Nearly going 2 knuckles down.
Yeah. Yeah. Just be slow. Be gentle about it.
So you're not hooking, you're just pumping.
Yeah.
There's no hook, it's just...
It's almost the other way, isn't it?
Yeah.
doing that.
I'm sinking and I'm flicking the tips of the fingers up to come out. So I sink, 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 sink from there. And then I just flick up as I lift out. Yeah. Yeah. And that's it. It's only 3 moves. 4 if you count the one that you do on that side. All right. So that's my cisterna Charlie, my aortic bifurcation, and my deep umbilical nodes, and it's sitting just under the viscera of the abdomen. All right. So what we're going to do now is, while I'm here, I'm going to demonstrate lower abs. So there's only 3 moves to remember. Are you guys good if we just move on to
Yeah.
All right. Now, with the lower abs, all we're doing is the superficial work to clear the glutes and to clear the superficial quadrant underneath the belly button on both sides. What we have to do though, before we push the superficial fluid into the inguinal nodes, is we have to clear the inguinal nodes, and we have to do both sides before we uncover and do the lower abs. The thing about the thing about working with the inguinal nodes is you have to be really confident with your towel, because normally clients, the underwear is removed. So nobody really wears underwear in an MLD. When I treat them, they have the nappy towel in place. So you've got to work out, how am I going to tuck this towel into the nappy towel and get it all in one smooth motion so that they don't feel uncomfortable, and neither do I. So the trick to this is, normally I work with a bit of a longer towel, but picking up the towel closer to the end and about mid-thigh, lead with the bottom hand. I'm leading with my right arm, place it down, I can feel the nappy towel there, and I tuck in. If you roll it the other way, so if you go to tuck it backwards, it's going to come down. And the last thing you want is to be mucking around with somebody's groin towel. If you go like this, it's not going to work, it's all going to come down. So what you've just got to do is find the edge of the nappy towel and just tuck in. Once you tuck in, without the underwear, the nappy towel acts as a barrier, and you've also got this towel in place. So I've got access to the nodes, I've got access to the femoral triangle, and I've got access to the fossa ovalis without the client feeling like they're exposed. Okay? The thing about working with the area that we're about to is be confident with the toweling. This sort of thing is going to freak clients out. Okay, so practice this, people. Practice getting this towel, lifting it up, lead with the bottom hand, place it down, tuck it under. Yeah? And be definitive about your lines. That's the best advice I can give you. I'm just going to grab that leg over a little bit. All right, now, 3 steps to clear the inguinal nodes. 3 steps to clear the axilla, 3 steps to clear the inguinal nodes. With the inguinal nodes, we actually start with the inguinal crease. Flat fingers, line your body up with the diagonal that you're about to work on. Start proximal, work distal. The towel is my landmark. Flat fingers, right over the inguinal crease, so if David lifted his leg, the crease would be exactly where I'm working. You're not working above it, you're not working below it. You guys saw today on Essential Anatomy 5 how many nodes there are in that crease. Flat fingers, and it goes like this. 4 pressure stationary circles for 1, 2, 3, 4. At the 4th one, step back. 1, 2, 3, 4. Step back. 1, 2, 3, 4. Move back. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can't stress how important it is to spend the time to get this right. Take your time. Do not rush this. Come back to the starting position. So you know I'm going to do 4 passes, right? Because I'm passing over an area. Come back to the start. Again, bend the knee or make a little circle with the knee. Because if you make a little circle, the hand will follow. You can feel the nodes. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. Again, my last one, and you can feel how I'm using a bit more pressure here than I have anywhere else. So on the inguinal crease, you can use another sort of half the pressure that you used on the axilla. But make sure you stay behind it, keep the hand flat. What you don't want is to be poking people's inguinal crease, because you'll hurt it. And it'll be weird for you. So keep low, bend the knee. 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, 1, 2. Just bend the knee. Every time you want to do a circle, bend the knee. Alright, and once we've done 4 passes, we've got 2 more moves to go. Now, there's 2 moves, and they're quite medial. The first one is the Femoral Triangle. You know how I told you yesterday that a lot of people think they've got fat at the top of their thighs, but it's actually fluid? Right there. It feels different to everything else in the leg. You've got this soft skin. You've got about 12 nodes under there, but you've also always got a layer of fluid over the top. So what we're going to do is we're going to place our hand on a diagonal. Your fingers will be pointing at the client's knee. Again, this diagonal thing's important. And I'm going to be doing stationary circles with 0 pressure here because I want to push this fluid into the inguinal crease. So, hand down, stationary circles. Can I just move that over a little bit, please, mate? Thank you. Okay. And 1, 2, 3. Or you can go anti if you want. No. The thing about this one is, if you want to roll that way, you're going to have to put this down. I don't want to put this down at all. So I roll the other way. So I avoid any kind of contact with this because this is my 0 pressure zone. Yeah?
Oh, so you're not going up.
I'm starting my little fingers and I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, stop. So all of that remains open for this fluid to move up to the inguinal crease. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, light, 7, 8, 9, 10. So can you feel the pressure, 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 stop? Pressure, 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 stop. Yeah. All right, there's one more position. We've done our inguinal crease, femoral triangle. Now, normally when there's no elastic, this is really easy to find, but we're looking for what's known as the Fossa Ovalis. So, what I want everybody to do, no, I found it. What I want everybody to do is I want you to creep along, I wish I had a better word for it, but I don't, until you feel a little divot right in there. It's where the greater saphenous vein passes through, right? So you've got inguinal ligament, right in there you've got a dip. Can everyone, you know where yours is?
Just
Yeah, you guys can feel it?
just over the edge of your pubic bone.
Yeah, it's right there. You'll be able to feel the dip, especially when you're lying down. It's a lot easier to feel because it's soft. In there, there's one great big node. If you can access that Fossa Ovalis, so it's an oval fossa, a dip, sink one finger in there and do full pressure stationary circles. I can feel that node right there. Just do full pressure stationary circles for 10, because that node is really important in clearing the top of the legs. Depends. Can be big, can be small. Depends how much training you do, all that kind of stuff, right? So what we're going to do. Can you feel your Fossa Ovalis? Do you know where it is? Can you point to it for me, or just show me where? Yep, perfect. Can I work there? Cool. So you sink in. Yep. Now full pressure stationary circles, just with a single finger to that oval.
Could you get the client to work with you on that one? So their hand is there. Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, it's easy when they're asleep, and generally they're asleep by this point, you know. But if the first time they're coming in and they've got a knee issue, and you say, look, I'm going to clear this crease and I'm going to clear the upper inner thigh, but I also need to clear a tiny little hole that's right on the crease but a bit further medial. Yeah. Just say, mate, mate or whoever, can you just feel that for me and get that little divot? And is it okay with you if I work in that position? Yeah. I mean, clearing the inguinal crease is one thing, but going even further can be another altogether. So yeah. That's why I say don't stuff around with the toweling, because if you're being all weird about the towel and then you're poking around, it's not going to go well for anyone.
So what do you call that again?
Fossa Ovalis. It's the opening for the greater saphenous vein. There's two Fossa Ovalis. There's one in the heart and there's one at the top of the thigh.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, the one in the heart.
Sorry?
I was thinking of the one in the heart, and I'm thinking, why is there one down there?
Yeah. All right. So once we've done that, we swap sides and we repeat this exact process. Again, pick the towel up, mid-thigh, towards the ankle, lead with the bottom hand. Place the towel down. There's my nappy towel. Tuck in. Easy. Full pressure stationary circles with 2 fingers or 3 fingers, depending upon the size of the inguinal crease that you're working on. Sometimes you'll get 4 positions, sometimes you'll get 3. But keep the hands flat. Make sure that you are working those nodes with full pressure stationary circles, so we switch them on. It's easy if you just do a micro circle with the opposite knee. So I'm in here, I'm just doing a tiny little micro circle, so I can feel the nodes on your left and more pronounced than the nodes on your right. Any pain in there, it's all good? Oh, that's why. Okay. Because it just feels like they're a little bit more coffee. Just in there. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. When you get more confident at this, you can use the blade of the hand again to do the full inguinal crease if you're running out of time. Yeah. But first of all, get a feel with the fingertips for what the area is that you're working in.
So that's full pressure.
Yeah, because you're working directly over nodes. Right, once we've done that, same hand. So slide it off the inguinal crease and just straight down onto the upper inner thigh. Stationary circles with 0 pressure. 3, bounce off the back foot if that helps. 5, it looks like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, exactly the same as you did on the parasternals. But make sure it's on the femoral triangle, because you want to move that forward. And then Fossa Ovalis, again, placing that positioning of the towel is important. Fossa Ovalis, single finger, full pressure stationary circles. 1,
What's the pressure
2.
Egg pressure? Or harder than that?
Probably I'd smash the egg if I was doing it right now.
Egg smash.
So it's kind of like that. Because it's deep, right? It's in that, you've got to get through that fossa because it's underneath there. So I'm giving it a little bit more pressure. Yeah, that'd be, yes. So once you've done the 3 moves on both sides, all you got left is 2 moves here. Uncover the top of the nappy towel, tuck in, here's my working surface from the belly button down and from the midline. So my first working surface is basically that quadrant. I've only got 2 quadrants to do, and I've only got 2 moves to do. First move, stationary circle with 0 pressure to get that superficial lower abdominal lymph into the inguinals. 1, 2. Make sure that you keep the hand under the watershed of the belly button. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Here's my 0 pressure zone. You can even do it with a little bit of a different stance if you want to. As long as you've got a 0 pressure stationary circle that's superficial. And then you've got one more move to do. Swap sides. Repeat. You always have one hand that does this better than the other. Use your knee. 8, 9, 10. Now here's the funnest stroke in the whole of the MLD. Watch this. This is a slide. You know how I told you there's no slides? You don't work on the skin. Just for this once you do. Double hands. Reach over. Going to cover the whole glute med. Stay underneath the watershed. I'll do it with one hand to start. So what we want to do is we want to promote fluid movement from the glutes into the inguinal, superficial inguinal area. Come up. Come up with the hands. Just fingertips. Land the palm at the midline and lift the fingertips up. Stretch. Fingers back down. Stretch. Palm up. Sweep. 4-part move. Come up with the fingertips. Sorry. Land the palm at the midline. Stretch. Stretch. Tip the hand. Now if you go too hard with this one, you'll get stuck on the way down. So just light. Come up. Fingertips. Land the palm, stretch. Land the fingers, stretch back. So what I'm doing is I'm getting the fluid to move like this, because fluid moves like that. So come forward, go back, recapture, push. I'll do the other hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Double hand if you've got a long torso that you're working on. 2, 3, 4. Up to you guys how you do it. Swap sides and repeat.
What do you do with clients who are like very abdominally overweight?
2 parts.
2 parts.
So for example, a few of my clients have got that abdominal apron. Yeah. So in that case, when you're clearing the inguinal crease, you'll need more powder because sometimes you lose skin will come off. Yeah. And sometimes if you've got a really large abdominal area, I'll work it in 2 parts. I'll do exactly the same thing, upper and then lower. Yeah. It's just like the breast. If you've got lots of breast tissue, work it in 2 sections. Repeat and then repeat the process again. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4. This is good for your body as well. Loosens things up a little bit in the shoulders, back. Comfortable? Yeah. 2, 3, 4. And that's it. Right. I know you need lunch, so we're going to do this and then we're going to have lunch. Let's step through everything that I just showed you so you can just get it in your heads once and for all. We're going to go back and do upper abdominal. So, alright. Upper abdominal, 3 moves. Assistant Charlie, first move.
Got 80 seconds.
Sorry?
Got 80 seconds for half an hour.
Alright, mate. Okay. 4, and supinate. 1 with the client's breath. 2, 3, 4. Aortic bifurcation. Exactly the same thing. More left. 1, 2, 3, 4. Birds on a wire. Press release into those deep visceral nodes for 4. And then swap sides. At this point, uncover, clear, inguinal crease, femoral triangle, greater saphenous, cover, swap sides, repeat. After you've done that, come back, 2 moves. Stationary circles with 0 pressure both sides, pushing fluid down, glutes, sweep, capture, drag down. End of story. 8 moves all together, cover the client back up, and you're ready to move on to legs. Did I make it?